It's a advocacy through education is what I like to say. So it was about getting the education out there, and I've been doing it nonstop ever since. And it's grown and grown, and I think now we're probably at over 34,000 on the main page, and I think total of almost 45,000 people following what I do. So it's pretty powerful, and that's why I say people say, well, you can't get anything done on Facebook. Well, not really, but yeah, you can. You really can. You can bring people together. You can educate people. There's so many people in my family, my friends that weren't educated on cannabis, that didn't smoke, didn't use it in any way, shape, or form, didn't think it had any benefit, and now they're like, wow, this is amazing. And they're glued to what I do every day. And that's moving.
Who becomes your biggest advocate at that point in time too, James? Those people,
Those people, yeah, absolutely.
The ones who didn't believe initially.
Exactly. When the people that were like going, what is this? What are you doing? You're wasting your time, 4 years ago. And now they're like, oh my God, you are doing such great work and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, this is why I do it, because I'm changing the hearts and the minds of people and educating them and getting them out to the events and getting them to actually push to end prohibition.
Well, James, you're saving lives. I mean, people will tell you all day long, you can't do anything on social media. But the one thing that they don't know is that we reached millions last night. I mean, we got featured on Fox Business News last night and got our message spread across the country.
Yep, absolutely. And I didn't call people. I didn't email people. I reached out to them on Facebook. I got 16 companies to donate over $30,000 worth of product to these veterans that were at our rally yesterday. And I did it through social media. I got all of those organizations to support and come out to that event, and I did it through social media. But then you have to take the next step and actually go out there and be uncomfortable and go out there and actually set a casket up in front of the VA Medical Center and get all those people together. So, I mean, yeah, you can get a lot done, but it can't be the only thing you do.
Yeah, let's talk about that yesterday. The emotions that went through the day. How did you feel yesterday? It's uplifting, I know, but it's also emotionally draining at the same time too. So just if you can provide some visual imagery through words, if you don't mind, to our listeners on what yesterday's event was and how it went.
Well, I mean, it is tough. It's tough. It's draining. It's very impactful. I mean, it's emotional. Throughout the day, all these emotions come up, and you think back to things that happened to you in the past and why you're doing this, and you think about all the friends and family that are going to benefit from this in the future, and the veterans that are going to be saved. And it was such an important event. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was tough to get through. Like I said, I have a lot of anxiety trying to deal with that, but listening to all those speakers talk and the passion that each and every one of them have out there, it was moving. And, it shows me that we've got to keep going. We've got to keep going.
It is. And, the hardest part, I think, for me was fighting back the tears and still trying to portray that, that strength that we have to have for the day that it takes. It's so hard, but man, to see that casket sitting in front of the Atlanta VA medical facility filled with prescription bottles, James, the flag draped over the top of it, and we're standing there with 60, 75 other people talking about the lives that have been lost and the lives that we're going to save, the lives that have been saved in just the audience that was there with us yesterday. It's life-changing for me. It's changed me forever.
Listening to people talk about how they used to take 100 pills a day and now they don't because of cannabis. I mean, there's so many studies out there that show that we can alleviate these opioid epidemic, these prescription problems that we have. We talk about all these epidemics. We're hearing about this vaping epidemic. Like 30-something people died in the last 6 months. You know how many veterans killed themselves in that time? Do you know how many people died from smoking cigarettes? Do you know how many people died from alcoholism? I mean, there's so many more things that we can discuss that are really important. And it just seems like a lot of times the media wants to put a twist on things and take away from what's really important. And that's why it was so awesome to see you on Fox Business last night, because we reached a lot of people. And I think a lot of people saw that, this is an epidemic. We are experiencing a true epidemic. Over 8,000 veterans kill themselves every year. That's
Yeah, and I
crazy.
didn't mean to laugh when we say the epidemic because but it's comical, that they've lost 30 people,
Yeah.
and any life lost is bad. Don't get me wrong, but
Well,
30
absolutely,
people,
absolutely.
and then we've lost thousands and thousands of our men and women that have served this country, and it's not an epidemic enough to actually give us the access that we're begging for. What's the issue here?
Absolutely. And I don't know why, the U.S. government has dragged their feet for this long. And I mean, the proof is there. It's scientific. It's irrefutable. And I just don't get it. There's got to be so much more involved. And, like you said, it's about the money. It's about
Give
control.
me Give me a bold prediction, James. Give me a bold prediction for 2020. What's the one thing that's going to happen in the cannabis industry that's going to change or not change?
I've been making this prediction for a couple of years now. And that's why I said what I said a minute ago. I just can't believe why the federal government hasn't acted. But I really, really think that we're at that point where in the next year or so, we're going to see the federal government change the scheduling or remove it from the scheduling altogether. I don't know if they're going to remove it. That's the best thing for them to do. And there's a few
Right.
people out there that have had legislation that would do that. But for some reason, Congress won't pull the trigger on it. We're getting these other bills out there that are going to reschedule it to a 2 or reschedule it to a 3. Yeah, that would be better. It would change a lot of things, but it's not what we want. We want it to be removed 100%. It shouldn't be there. It's a benign plant. It's never killed anyone. It's an
Yeah.
herb. It's not really a drug. It's an herb.
Yeah, the death rate's been pretty steady for about 10,000 years with cannabis, huh?
Absolutely. Still zero.
So, yeah, it's still zero. That's right. James, I know you do a whole lot. You got a lot going on. Tell people what your day job is, if you don't mind.
Well, I work for M&W Restoration here in the Atlanta area, and we do everything from carpet cleaning to painting to mold, fire, flood remediation, full renovations. We work for a lot of multi-family living, so basically apartment communities.
And then you put
And I
your
stay pretty
hemp
busy.
cape. Then you put your hemp cape on at night, and you go save lives, fighting for access. Right?
I actually I get up about an hour or 2 hours early every morning just to get on social media and educate, put all the posts, all the current news and affairs out there on the main page.
Holy cow!
And
Do
then
you
of course,
really?
yeah, and then of course in the afternoon I'm trying to follow up on all that. So it's like extra 2 to 4 hours every day for me of doing that.
Wow, brother. I had no idea. I mean, I knew you were a social media savant, unlike myself, who is horrible on social media and I can't stand it. I didn't realize you put that much time in, but it makes all the sense in the world now because you have such a tremendous following and people that are absolutely devoted to you, your calling, and everything that you're doing. And it was absolutely evident yesterday in the way that you had all these people show up just to evoke an a completely visceral response to the imagery that was provided yesterday in front of the VA. And we showed it on national TV last night.
Yes, we did. It was awesome.
So our listeners, if they want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Well, I mean, my telephone number is pretty public. It's 251-508-4473. That's my direct cell. Other than that, the best way to reach out to me or follow me is through Facebook, using my name, James Miesner, Miessner, or find One Plant, ONEPLANT, one word. And I have a group as well. It's hashtag One Plant, and then it's United, exclamation point.
James, you have united this community. You have united this state, and you have fought like hell here in the Southeast to continue to push for cannabis access. And you're a brother of mine. James Miesner, United States Coast Guard veteran. Thank you so much for joining us here today on the Veterans for Cannabis podcast, and look forward to seeing you again soon, brother. And we're going to continue this fight on every single day moving forward.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate everything that you do, Joshua. You're a warrior, and I'm humbled to be your friend, your brother, and like you said, I would go to war with you at any day. And I can't wait to do this demonstration all over the country. We've got so many people reaching out saying, "Hey, come do it here, come do it here." And I know you're trying to do one in Tampa soon, so
Tampa
I really
in
hope I can
January.
make it down for that.
We're going to make it happen together.
I think we need to do one back here in the Capitol as well, right after.
I agree. Legislative session coming up in 2020.
That's right.
Thanks so much, James. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today on the Veterans for Cannabis podcast. Take care.